This is a Play Your Way network presentation. Get the full story at PlayLifeYourWay.com. In a world where comics, movies, games, rumors, and Kardashians come at you 24/7, three champions will rise to defend you from wasting precious time, money, and emojis. BK, Nate, and Derreck will show you how to do it the player way.
Ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between, with all due respect, this is your resident podcast DJ BK, helping you understand how to curate your media
The player way.
And I am so excited because I never get to do this thing alone. I am here finally with my co-captains because we've all not been here over the last few weeks. Through the magic of editing, we are all here at the same time on the same channel with my co-captains, Nate.
Been here the whole time, haven't missed a week. Thank you very much.
Boom!
And Derreck.
Dang, he hit us with the hotness. Just call us out on my attendance record. Nice. The shots fired. No shots taken.
He did that thing.
He did it.
How you guys doing, man?
Legit.
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. The audience will never know this is the third time we've recorded. Normally we do this thing live, and there's no opportunity for errors. But this time we decided to actually do it.
They will never know except when you inform
them. They will never
them.
know unless we tell them live right here on the podcast.
Right here. And down.
Like I told everybody not to do. Exactly. No, it's all good. We wanted to re-record because there's a certain film that we're going to be talking about this episode, and we wanted to get them hot sports opinions just right.
The player way.
So, guys, what have you guys been up to this week? Never mind. I want to tell you how I did this weekend because I went out and saw the highly anticipated film Den of Thieves.
Nice.
Hot damn, tell me all about it, man.
Boom, break it down for me. Break it down for me.
Guys, y'all don't understand. Like, if you're listening to this podcast, I did this, and basically, when the first time
I'm going to go ahead and say this is an over-exaggeration already. This is an over-exaggeration.
No, it is not over-exaggeration. It was crickets. It was straight crickets, dude. Derreck did his best to muster something about it, but it was like, guys, you don't care about the film? You don't want to hear about it?
You were telling us there were a bunch of no-name guys.
I didn't get around to seeing it this week. Didn't get around to seeing it this week, but yeah, you tell us about it. Never mind, it was on our top 10 films. Anyway, good. This is a lot funnier this way around. Now, Derreck got his wish. It's in the podcast. There you go. He's smiling so big. He's so happy. That Urban Cowboy doing it
the player way.
All right. So anyway, the film was good. It was good. It wasn't as good as the sports that happened this weekend, which we're going to definitely get to talking about that in a little bit because
I love heist films, like The Italian Job, Brazilian Job,
yes,
Ocean's 11, 12, part of 13.
You're giving me that pay dirt. That's what I want. You're giving me the exclusive, Derreck.
The player way.
Like the Fast Five, even the whole scene with the two Chargers pulling the safes along the street, like had that. When you see Gone in 60 Seconds. Like after I saw Gone in 60 Seconds, I thought I could steal cars.
It has that feel, albeit not. It has that, albeit not nearly as cheesy. It's much more of a cerebral film. It's pure testosterone. That's the one thing about it. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
But like the guy that is accused of raping the girl, and it's like he thinks it's his baby, but it's not really his baby. But he's a guard. The mustache that is on his face, the manliness of the mustache on his face, that's what this film is all about. It is just pure manhood. It's just a penis, unshaven, uncut, on screen that you can just look at.
Dang.
For like
Is that
2
guy
hours.
even in the movie? Because that was a weird pull if he wasn't in the movie.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't in the film, unfortunately. They had 50 Cent was in there, Gerard Butler, and it's crazy that it's close to one of his most manly, like unshaved 5 o'clock shadow-esque like roles. who else is in the film? Ice Cube's son is in it. Plays a really big role, like gravy. Let's see, what else? There's other actors in there, but like you can't remember their names. It's like that guy who was in that film with those people who did that really cool thing.
Oh, those people?
I think I stole that straight from Derek.
No, there's no thievery. This all happened. Some of the names, if you're looking for, we have Evan Jones, Pablo Schreiber, Jordan Bridges.
I'm getting nothing. What is Evan
exactly.
Jones?
That's exactly what everyone would say, because they are those guys from that one thing. Evan Jones, that's Cheddar Bob, man. You definitely know who Evan Jones is.
Oh yeah, Cheddar Bob is good in this movie, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you see Cheddar Bob in a serious, non-comedic role.
Oh yeah,
he gives the business in this one, dude. Like,
all right.
He's really good. You feel real proud for Cheddar Bob, man.
Okay. Maurice Compte.
Who else?
We've seen him play. He usually plays a gang. I remember him from Narcos. He was the guy that was like leader of the Colombian army, in essence. That actor from Narcos. Okay,
yeah,
he's in this. He
was really
into
good.
Watch
and then
too.
I'm trying to remember the white guy's name. I can't remember his name. He's like one of the main characters in the film too. He plays a guy named Merriman. Let's see if I can find his name.
That was the Pablo Schreiber guy that I said, which is the guy from Orange Is the New Black. Ironically, that you.
Oh, so it is him.
That's what I was saying. That was funny that you were using him as
it.
I'm like, because he's in it.
Well, there you go. That's why I got the idea. But see, here's what's cool. He does such a good job of transforming himself in this film. You can't. You're like, I remember him of something, but I can't remember what it is.
That's rare to do.
You know,
everybody gives.
So the guy from Orange and the New Black
Mendez.
with the mustache is in this movie.
Yeah, that's him.
Yes,
he was
him.
Actually he was in The Wire too.
About.
He was in season 2 of The Wire.
That's right. That is right. He's good, dude. He's really good in this one. Like everybody, you want to be a part of this crew. Like, I mean, it's the business. This is the closest thing to a male set it off.
Okay, all right.
That gives you a lot of notes there. That's 100%. That is 100% exclusive. You heard it here.
The player way.
Exclusive.
So, long story short of like what the plot is about, the guys at the very beginning of the film, and it's not spoiling anything, they don't rob a bank. They don't steal money. They steal a bank truck. A empty bank truck. Like, they lose a guy stealing a bank truck. And like that's what starts the whole thing. Like, Gerard Butler's character is like, okay, these are professionals, because there's only one reason you would be stealing a bank truck, and it's a heist.
Of course.
So it's like, it's really kind of cool how it all goes down. Ice Cube's character plays a Baby Driver similar character. Ironically enough, he does play the driver. And I would love to see Baby versus this guy. Like, it's... You get
Baby
some,
versus
you get
this
some
guy?
chubbies when
really?
Yes, dude. They got some moments. But it's a great film. There are some big issues with it. Nate had mentioned this, that he thought that this kind of had a direct-to-DVD, direct-to-Netflix kind of feel to it. And the weaknesses of this film are glaring in that aspect, that you would expect to see it from a direct-to-consumer product, not something that you would forgive for a big-budget Hollywood film. For example, there's a moment where something happens and the FBI is just there. Like, they call 911 and the FBI shows up. It's like, that's not how that works.
Without any explanation,
assuming
film, like there were wiretaps or something to make sense for the FBI to have showed up, just a big plot hole.
Exactly. And if the FBI are really that involved in it, then why
they would have been?
Then why is Gerard Butler's sheriff's department? We're talking about a sheriff's department.
Reno 911.
Not LAPD. Not LAPD. A sheriff's department.
We got Reno 911
with, like,
and
M16s and shit. It's like, what? This is the, like, sheriff's departments give tickets. Like, you know, it's
y'all
like,
watch the county. Okay.
When has Dog the Bounty Hunter been a sheriff? Like, it's and Gerard Butler's character is, for the lack of a better comparison is Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's legit, like, it's real. But it's a lot of fun. It's a fun film. If you don't go see it in film, in the theaters rather, you're not missing anything on that anywhere. You're saving that money. But if you have Movie Pass, definitely a good pick there. And if you go see this film, you can't lose. You are definitely doing it.
The Player Way.
But nice bow tie on that. But you just said something that's just definitely stuck with me. You comparing him to Baby Driver just makes me wonder. I would like to compose, like, who are the best drivers in movies? Like, because I still love Memphis Reigns, personally. You know what I'm saying?
Memphis Reigns is pretty damn good. The problem with Memphis Reigns, and Nate, please
what about
chime in on this.
Nate, Memphis Reigns or Dominic Toretto? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dominic Toretto all the way, dude.
Yeah. I don't think you can.
Memphis Reigns drove in, like, the real world. Dominic Toretto drives in the Hollywood world. Okay, I will say at least that. Memphis Reigns was at least a real guy.
Well,
actually,
Memphis
Reigns was at least a real guy,
and
though.
Furious 4 and on, yeah.
Yeah, his driving skills.
True.
Yeah.
From Fast 4, Toretto started to turn into a superhero.
Yeah, Fast and the Furious 1, he was just a straight line driver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but
I would pick Memphis Reigns over. Who did Marky Mark play in an Italian Job?
oh, okay, yeah. All right, I'm with you on that. I like the heist, but yeah, he wasn't. No, yeah.
I don't know. I definitely, I'll put Baby in the top 3.
Ooh.
Baby's pretty damn impressive. I saw some shit in that movie, and I think I have such a appreciation for Baby Driver
Charlie
because
Crook.
I live in Atlanta.
Gotcha. And it was filmed. Yeah.
So I saw him drive in places, and the traffic was recreated in ways that the only thing I didn't forgive in Baby Driver was the red cars that were not connected to him in any way. They did not explain where the red cars came from so that he got out of that particular scene.
The one under the bridge?
That was the one thing I was like, yeah. That was the one thing I was like,
because I know you don't like happenstances. You don't like happenstances.
No, I don't like Derreck. Indeed.
That was one of your biggest quarrels with Covenant. Oh, we heard John Denver and changed our whole, you know.
Absolutely, right, man. But as soon as I saw him shuffle the cars underneath the bridge, I was like, I just didn't understand. I was like, what? I was like, what? How did that happen? And I was really needing the scene where they were paying these guys off
afterwards
that were a part of
Here's
it.
Your stack.
But we didn't get that payoff at all.
Gotcha.
So that just kind of went things wrong with Baby Driver. But aside from that, Baby was pretty damn cool.
All right. That might be something I put on the shelf. Yeah, I might do some driver research movie summing up in the next few weeks. That'd be a good look.
The Ice Cube's kid in this one,
Donnie.
He apparently his claim to fame is that he went down in history for the fastest getaway driver in Los Angeles PD history. So like he drove like he's the fastest ever broke it, and his excuse for when the police pulled him over, they were like, well, what was your excuse when the police pulled you over? Well, it was a newly paved road. Like that was why.
What was I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So it was, but no, really good film. It was pretty solid. I was happy for it. There's something to be said for, and we'll move on, and we're about to move on. But there's something to be said for my advice to Hollywood: if you are going to have a big gunfight scene, all right, under like a bridge with a crap ton of cars in the middle of traffic caused by some sort of
situation,
construction, people need to get out of the cars and run for their lives so that we know that the cars didn't just appear there for this
We need
scene.
something like what happens in Grand Theft Auto when you shoot a car, somebody to try to speed to get away or dive out to
like run.
like real life.
Dude, there's a scene where Gerard Butler is running between all the cars and he's like, get down. There's clearly nobody in the car that he's talking to. Like Rachel's like, I can see nobody's in that car. Like, and they shot all them cars up, bro. They shot them cars up.
Oh man.
So, you know, they definitely shut it down, man. So it was one of those things where you were wondering, like, it breaks you out of the feeling. And you know, that's another one of my pet peeves right there. when you're watching the film and you're like, wait a minute, there's at least 100 cars.
He's been shooting the same clip for 47 seconds, and I know
there were people driving them because we saw the cars moving to get there, and now nobody's in the cars. And if they are, they're all dead.
All right.
You know,
we need some real life.
So anyway,
all right.
So anyway, so there you go. That is Den of Thieves. So anyway, let's get on to what everybody's listening really wants to talk about. It was definitely so good. We had to break out a new segment on our IG stories. If you've are a longtime listener, you remember that we used to do the sports rundown with this awesome intro narrated by Derreck and I, and then it just kind of disappeared. Well, it's because it didn't quite work with the format of the show anymore, and we found a new place for it. There is going to be a weekly segment that's going to be on Instagram. If you go to @PlayerWayPodcast on Sunday nights, so that you have opportunity to curate your sports stats.
The Player Way.
You can go on there, watch it. We'll have 4 or 5 different statistics from the weekend, provided that there are 4 or 5 games. I'm not going to be doing any NASCAR. Sorry. I know there's one person in particular listening to this that is going to be furious about this, and he's going to call me, he's going to text me, and we'll probably end up doing NASCAR anyway. But anyway.
Never.
And we're back with technical difficulty. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Never. Let it ride. It is. Nice. All right, you're right.
I have a little bit more time for editing.
You're right.
I have a little more time for editing these days, so we can definitely put a few of those in there.
All right, good times.
Shout out to the home of the immortal Iron Fist.
Let's do it. Hey, man, sports, man. There were lots of sports that happened this weekend. Oh, my God.
Absolutely,
usually, arguably, the best games of the season happened this past weekend because AFC and NFC championships, those teams know each other so well. And it's just it was delicious to watch. And I was my thoughts on this, if I can get on this soapbox real quick, is I enjoy the sport of football.
Step up.
Besides politics and everything.
Watch your step.
Oh, all right, I'm up here now. All right. Every team has a certain amount of ability toward the Super Bowl. Every single team has a certain level of ability. We are seeing the best of the best, sir, right now. I believe
with honors.
I believe that certain teams they've played up to their potential, and then that was it. For instance, the Vikings. I'm going to start with them. They got lucky last week. I'm going to be honest. No one scripted that play. Case Keenum didn't know that was going to happen. That was incredible fanfare. Even the mythical momentum even happened toward them. And I felt that they carried all that prowess and talent all the way up till their first drive against the Eagles, where they scored very easily. And then that was it. That was the extent of what the Vikings had to offer this season, was all the way up until 7 points against the Eagles, because the Eagles hung 38 on them unanswered. Now, that brings me to another point, which I'm going to put a pin in, but we're going to jump over to the AFC, where the Jags, the best that the Jacksonville Jags had to offer this season was getting up 20-10 against the Patriots. That was the best they had all season. They had a great season. Congratulations, Jacksonville. You were relevant in the conversation, but the best you had was 20-10, and then Tom Brady said, all right, enough of this. You're 1,000 years too early. Let me show you how to do this.
Nate,
I was never worried about it.
Nate, we totally talked about this on the previous episode, dude.
Yeah, some kid of a player on the Jaguars team obviously wished upon a falling star or something for that playoff run. I mean, kudos honestly to the city of Jacksonville. They're one of 4 teams that have never made it to the Super Bowl. Yeah. They got awfully close this time.
Awfully close.
Well, there's next year.
I mean, so how upset must they have been that they didn't get matched up against Minnesota?
And that would have been great. And see, that goes to what I was saying. They would have loved to, but Jacksonville put almost their best football last week against Pittsburgh. They put everything they could, 45-42. That score doesn't even really dictate how not close that game was. But their best poured into this one only to 20 points until Tom Brady. Just like Minnesota, their best poured into that game against the Saints only to just be bested by the Eagles, which leads me to, was this the best that the Eagles had to offer, was putting 38 points up on Minnesota, because they are going up against the master himself and his head coach next week. Yeah. This guy has...
Nate, I'll let you start. I'll let you start on this one.
I don't think
the stage is set.
Or I don't think Philadelphia Philadelphia probably doesn't have a chance.
Like, Tom Brady is the Undertaker of football.
Dude.
Like, I mean, he's a phenom. It is scary how good he's gotten.
And has maintained. Yeah. His level of goodness is what every player aspires to be, and on a bad day, he's still better than everybody.
Bro, and he'll pick. Look, Tom Brady is that kid. Mm-hmm. He's Derreck. He's that kid when you were a kid that you didn't want on anybody's team because it didn't matter who you gave. You could give him 6 of the fat kids and he would still win. Like, he didn't even have Edelman this year. He didn't even have Edelman.
It didn't matter.
Like, all of the people that you look to,
next man up.
He was like, "Hey, I'll take you. I'll take you."
Yeah, that's it.
Amendola, come over here. Like, it was crazy. It was insane, and it was like, he was never worried. He was like, "Well, I don't really play until the third quarter anyway." So
that was it. And Jacksonville's defense is arguably better than Philadelphia's defense. Like, they're comparable. And on the stage, hype is set. The last time the Patriots won back-to-back Super Bowls was their second victory to get the back-to-back Super Bowl was over the Eagles. And you're telling me they won last year and they get a chance to go back-to-back again and they're playing the Eagles again? Now, what Nick Foles are they going to get? Are they going to get the Nick Foles that was calm, cool, and collected yesterday, or are they going to get the Nick Foles that's playing in the Super Bowl? You can't tell me this is just a game. It is the Super Bowl. They have 2 weeks to think about it. The Eagles have 6 players on their team with Super Bowl experience. The Patriots have 33. No. They could put the underdog appreciation in me would understand the Eagles, but I hate the Eagles. I'm
gonna stop you right there. Hold on.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Let's take it back.
One hop this time.
Okay. The Eagles will never be referred to as an underdog team.
Yes.
Especially
and
on
they
this
have
podcast.
All right. They have a hellacious offense and a hellacious defense, and they are the underdogs.
Defense. Listen, if they can't
this would have been a much better game if Carson Wentz were playing. It would be 10 times better. I mean, no offense to Nick Foles, but
he's not Carson Wentz. He's not Carson Wentz. And Nick Foles is a great backup.
This should have been New Orleans.
He ain't no Vic. He ain't no Vic, though.
It really should have been New Orleans and New England.
New Orleans was the dominant team of the NFC.
As much as as a Falcons fan, as much as I hate to admit it, the Aints, I would have much preferred the Aints. Like, especially because the Saints, and this, as unscientific as this is, there's something about Saints fans, the energy it would have been in that Super Bowl versus, the Patriots. That would have been something to behold.
It would have been. They would have traveled. They definitely would have traveled up to Minnesota.
Dude, even the media loves the Saints,
of
dude.
Course.
It would have been.
They're that comeback team. They're the team. Drew Brees is everybody's little brother that keeps winning.
Dude, just imagine how many they would have found a way to refer to Katrina, even though Katrina is such old
12
news,
years ago.
Even though it's not anyone who knows anything about the devastation, we do know for sure 100%. It's still very, very.
It's probably why a lot
of
people from New Orleans aren't Scorpions fans.
But it's old news.
Like
it's old news. But they would have found some old black family to tie in.
Thanks, Nate.
Go to the most desolate regions of New Orleans,
exactly.
And the Ninth Ward or whatever you want to call it, and then show how no one gives a F about New Orleans, but now's their time.
But they actually shot the footage in Houston
for a split second. But in this moment, all eyes are on New Orleans. I'm telling you, it'd have been something, dude. It'd have been something. The Eagles, ain't nobody got love for the Eagles, bro.
The hype is ready.
We could care less.
This is great, man. Like I said, back-to-back. We have Tom Brady has faced multiple of the same teams in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I believe in Tom Brady. The Eagles, honestly, their team this year reminds me of the Falcons last year. That high-powered offense, that solid defense, going up against the Patriots, who has a fairly mediocre defense, but Tom Brady at the helm. It's almost the same team. If the Eagles will do well to do their best to get it. They need to. If they're going to do anything, they have to pour it on as much as possible every single time. They can't waste one opportunity, because I don't think Brady's going to wait till the third quarter in this one. I really don't.
You know what's scary about this Super Bowl versus any other before? It's after such a dominant performance against a very, very energetic Atlanta
that's what I'm
team
saying.
That did have that kind of groundswell that the Saints would have had.
Dude, they put them away. The Falcons, we put them away. We put them away. Like, legitimately put them away. And the man pulled out his Your
infinity
owner
gauntlet.
came down to the field late third quarter. Your owner,
I'm telling you.
Blank, right?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, he came down to the field late in the third quarter when it was and
bro, we all thought it was over.
Everybody did. There's no one.
It was over.
Except
bro,
two people.
It was
two
over.
people in that stadium knew it wasn't over.
Dude pulled out the infinity gauntlet and said, I need dead ass, though. I'm going to need them stones. I need that
Fun
extra
isn't
stone.
something one
and he got
considers
that
when
extra
going
ring
for a
on his
fifth Super
finger,
Bowl ring.
and he did it again, on Sunday, just to prove to us, hey, guys, I'm still that same Thanos.
But this does
dead
put a
ass,
smile on
and
my
I have
face.
all the stones now. Thank you. Thank
Fun
you.
isn't something one considers when going after their sixth Super Bowl ring, but this does put a smile on my face.
I said it on Facebook yesterday. I wish I could.
My dude.
Let me see if I can remember. I said, fun isn't a word that you associate with being when being under pressure in the third.
But this does.
But this win does put a smile on my face. It's like, it's I was getting my blood taken at the doctor's office today, and that's all we were talking. I have a needle in my arm. The nurses, the male and female nurses, that's all we're talking about is how devastating. Like, Atlanta Falcons fans, it was us all over again. We had to relive that pain. Like, when a victim has to relive their old scars all over again. It's just painful to watch, man. And it's just, what if the Eagles can pull this off? It's gonna be the most amazing victory ever.
It's gonna piss me right off, Lloyd. That's what it's gonna do, because I have wanted this since the playoffs started. I've wanted the Eagles to go all the way, because I personally believe that people like such as throwback. I personally believe that everyone that's an Eagles fan deserves the pain of what the Falcons fans went through last year, but I don't even want y'all to even have a lead. I want Tom Brady to go out there and start, because as a Cowboy fan and an Eagles hater, because back in 99, when they were all clapping when Irvin was down on the field, I made the resolve that I will hate all things Philadelphia Eagles related. Period, the end. And I still don't have any love for them. So they deserve to go there and get mollywopped by the greatest. The greatest. The guy that has lost more Super Bowls than the Eagles have ever won. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And to quote you accurately, I do have your quote, what you actually said, in case you want.
Get it.
One never quite think of the word fun when finding a way under pressure in the fourth quarter, but this win puts a smile on my face. That's exactly what you said, and it's so true. Watching his calmness was ridiculous. The fact that he was watching him do like the flea flicker and still stand around and chill and casually toss a 36-yard completion like there's not grown men trying to kill him.
Dude, when he went down the sidelines, when he realized his team was trying to run out of steam, he was like, "Come on, guys, let's get this.
He is a leader of men.
Like, I mean, him by himself, he's like, forget Belichick. He's like, I'm gonna coach this.
He is a leader of men. He is a leader of men.
Man, Nate, what if? Let me ask you a question, Nate. Do you believe this man should go into coaching after he retires?
No. I don't
really,
honestly. we'll never know the answer of if will Tom Brady be as good as he is without Belichick. Because I do think Tom Brady is the best quarterback to ever play the game, yes. But Bill Belichick is
one of the best coaches.
Hold on.
And this is coming from a Packers fan who has had a history of Lombardi. Yeah.
Let's give it up for Nate. Nate just did that thing.
Bill Belichick is the greatest
quarterback of all time. You heard it right here on
The Player Way.
Our generation, we grew up with Joe Montana being the best, and that has been overtaken by Tom Brady. But I also believe Bill Belichick is the best coach in the NFL, and no one has the win record that he does.
With all due respect, though, I will say Freeway Joe was always my greatest.
Well, I mean, that's fair. But,
I'm just saying,
Joe wins Montana don't lie.
Was the likable guy.
Who knows if Brady would be what he is without Bill Belichick's coaching, and vice versa, honestly. We'll never know until Brady retires. Then we'll finally see if Bill Belichick is worth his weight. But
I'll go ahead and say Bill Belichick is worth his weight because he said Garoppolo outside 49ers.
So y'all are calling this. So y'all are calling this the Michael Jordan.
I think if anybody should have gone into coaching, it was Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning's much more of a audible caller. On the field.
You're right about that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Tom Brady's set for life, man. He don't got to do shit. He's got a supermodel wife. It's probably richer than him. It's this motherfucker's set. Yeah.
He is really set. He doesn't he's already in his 40s.
Put on his Uggs and call it a life, man. That's what he's gonna do.
I can't remember ever going into a Super Bowl and being so sure that a team was gonna win. I've never been that sure ever in my life.
I'm very.
Can y'all name a Super Bowl where you were ever this sure?
Yes, I can actually. I can name the Super Bowl when the Patriots were 18-0 that I was very confident that they would go 19-0. But then the Giants somehow magically beat them 17-14 because they knew how to get some quarterback pressure. Eli Manning has 2 rings and he got them both off of Tom Brady. I hate that that's an actual
Only
fact.
person to beat Brady.
I hate that that's an actual fact.
Who he reminds me of? He reminds me of? He reminds me of Vander Weiss from Bleach. Where he wasn't that great of a bad guy, but he was crafted for one enemy only. He was crafted for just to beat only one man. It's with that one man, he had his number, dude. He had his kryptonite.
That's right. It's true, man. It's true. Exactly.
Captain Commander got the business with Vander Weiss, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's
all right, man. So I think we've beat this horse to death. And speaking of beating to death, it is time to talk about UFC 220. UFC 220 was an amazing event. I'm almost for certain. I know you guys didn't get a chance to watch it, but don't worry. I got you guys covered. Ooh, missed the drop.
The Player Way.
And recovered it, just like in that game.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
I recovered it. As long as you can fumble, as long as you recover it.
That's right. I prefer you not fumble. No, you know what I'm saying. Belichick wouldn't let you fumble. You saw what he did. We didn't see Dion. We didn't see Dion Lewis for a few plays after he fumbled, did he? We didn't see him.
The question you got to ask yourself: did BK do that for the sake of a joke? No, I legit did drop the ball. Anyway, I'm back, though.
See, ownership. Anyway, that's called ownership, y'all. That's ownership right there.
UFC 220. Hey, dude, we're doing this thing live, dude. There you go. Anyway, UFC 220 was an amazing event. They were in Boston. Hey, tell your mother I said hi.
Boston, huh?
It was one of those.
Go fuck yourself, Paul.
That's right. That's right. Cold hot dog and a flat beer. Socks at Fenway Park. That's right. Nothing better.
I love you, touchdown, Tommy.
Exactly. And just yo, sidebar for a second. Did you guys ever see the SNL Dunkin' Donuts sketch?
No.
I'm sorry,
bro. When this podcast is over, in fact, I think I want us to watch it all together before y'all get off the phone. The SNL. If you're watching this, go Google SNL Dunkin' Donuts sketch. It is the most hilarious thing ever, and it has all of the elements of things.
Casey Affleck. Oh, yes.
Dude, with Casey Affleck, dude, it is so hilarious.
I can't wait.
It is so hilarious. It's the funniest. Like, there is nothing more pleasurable next to Doug Christie getting eaten up by Jamie Foxx during the roast of Emmett Smith. Second to that is this sketch, and third to that is the I'm Rick James bitch sketch. In that order, those are the three funniest things.
I will also say one of the funniest things I heard this week was you two guys talking about go fuck yourself, Paul. Don't be yelling at me in the streets anymore over here. Like, I was rolling at your guy. It was like drunk history, but without the alcohol. It was greatness just hearing you guys bash Paul Revere.
Yeah,
come on, guys, it's for real.
Go back and listen
it's
to Paul
for real
Revere.
this time. Like I saw the ships. Fuck off, Paul. It's 3:06
Bitches,
in the
some
morning.
help! Hurry up!
I have no idea what time it is, but it's sleep
Fucking
time.
Paul's always yelling, that motherfucker.
If there were some
Go
wolves
fuck
outside,
yourself and your mother, Paul.
there's some wolves outside that
yes.
eat your ass right now. Ain't your titties?
With hot sauce.
Shout out to Cole
all
Beasley
of
for his
this is
trap
what
rap.
the Play Away podcast thinks of Boston. That's what comes to mind.
Wicked
when we
Eye,
think of Boston.
come on, man.
So they were in Boston this weekend. A guy. Oh, and Derek, I know in case you were wondering, yes, one of the guys did come out to drop kick Murphy.
All right.
Yes, they did come
All
out
right.
to that.
Ba, ba, da,
Of
ba,
course, they
ba,
got
da, da,
to.
da.
One guy has to do that. You know, and it's funny how how much your eyes roll, because now it's like you expect it. You're like, at least one guy's going to do that, just like you expect the guy to come out to Rocky to get his ass whooped. You know, it's like those things happen when you're in those cities. But anyway, so that, and yes, in case you were wondering, that was a Philly diss just now. So anyway, holla at you. So UFC 220, finally we're getting on with this. The two fights of note that were the most notable fights were Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier completely beat Derreck's favorite fighter, Volkan Oezdemir. Say it,
He
dude.
had 6 seconds of control. 6 seconds. He doubled his strikes.
It was,
dude.
You know what it was? At the beginning, Volkan came out really strong, had really good planting, had really good handwork. His speed was really good, and basically DC did a really good job of kind of moving in a direction that he didn't want him to go in. And then he just kind of mushed him in the face a couple of times and then punched him a couple of times. And from there on, the mask of Red Death was upon Volkan Oezdemir.
He shook his confidence.
Any idea, he was intimidated. And at the end of the first round, he was getting choked the fuck out. And if it was not for the bell, shout out to Zach Morris, he got saved. I mean, it was almost over.
That was
almost
tasty.
Yeah.
That was so tasty.
Second round, he came back, and finished work. DC never. It's been a while since DC looked so dominant. You got to give it up to the dude for continuing to stack these wins. He kind of had some things to say. He still laments that the blemish on his record will always be John Jones.
Of course,
he will always. No matter how great of a champion he will be, people will always say, but he wasn't John Jones, though. He never beat John Jones, though. So shout out to him for just, continuing to do really good work. Moving on to the heavyweight main event. Now, this was an interesting one. This is one where everybody was so sure, Joe Rogan himself was so sure that Francis Ngannou, the big black beast, came in and has been destroying everybody. He's basically what Simon Phoenix was supposed to look like in real life. Like, Simon Phoenix, if you don't remember, he's the bad guy played by Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man. The same haircut and everything. In real life, this guy came from the jungles of Africa and just started beating.
I thought I saw this dude in Django.
Reparations. As if he was reparations wrapped in a real body. Like, he's beat so many white dudes.
I ain't never want to whoop the man so bad.
And, bro, and you was just for sure he was going to be the first African champion. And this white man from Cleveland said, this is Merkel. And
we watch NASCAR around these parts, boy.
Bro,
Dude,
I'm
stats.
trying to tell you, Stipe Miocic may sound like he's a Russian dude, but that ass whooping was American.
Dude, the stats are not even
Rocky
comparable,
IV, dude.
They're not even comparable on this. He hit him 200 times. 200 times,
dude. I mean, it was straight out of Rocky IV, dude. I mean, it was like watching that in real life. It was like, oh, this is what that would look like in real life. He just beats the dude, like Clubber Lang, drags him out into the deep water, and he can't catch his breath.
He had 15 minutes of control.
Francis Ngannou looks so
15 minutes.
I mean, what's crazy about it, Stipe's face looks way worse than Francis Ngannou. But I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I mean, hopefully Francis Ngannou comes back. But shout out to Stipe Miocic. I mean, he is now the most decorated heavyweight fighter in UFC history.
Isn't he the longest title holder now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most decorated. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's longest reigning, which obviously it's only 3, but that's insane when you think about it. Like, no heavyweight has ever held the title for more
including
than 2
Brock Lesnar,
so,
and Frank Mir and those guys back in the day.
Indeed. And so what's crazy about that is when you think about it, there's nobody else. Like, who else is there?
Is there no one else?
If Francis Ngannou got defeated, I mean, I don't see anybody else taking him, dude. The next biggest fight that people are looking forward to is the rumored return of Conor McGregor, possibly in the UFC Russia event later this year, going against Khabib Nurmagomedov, or as Joey fucking Diaz calls him, Calabib. So looking forward to that fight. But yeah, that's what's going on in UFC, man. What you guys been up to this week, other than sports and more sports and more sports?
I got to taste a little bit of that Devilman anime.
Oh, dude, that's been like the talk of the town, dude. That's been the cock of the walk. Devilman Crybaby, a new Netflix original. Well, I don't know if it's a Netflix original.
They got the rights to it,
but it's on Netflix. Yeah, they have the rights to it. It's on Netflix. If you are an anime, well, Derek, you take it.
This
I couldn't do this one justice. You go ahead.
Devilman. See, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that I'm like a huge Devilman fan. I came across Devilman with the Netflix, one of their famous like movies broken down into a series. It's 3-part Devilman versus 009, Cyborg 009. That's where I first met Devilman. Very interesting movie to watch. Very cool. And when I came across Devilman Crybaby, first of all, I love the intro. Like, it totally draws you in. Very artistic. And this show it's an anime. The anime style, you're either going to like it or not like it. There is no in between. You're either going to like it or not like it. I personally like it because it's different. I'm so used to seeing like the Knights of Sidonia, the Ajin, or Naruto style, like that's or DBZ or DBS. That's what I'm used to. So this one, I'm excited. It's a little different, but the content of this is a violent anime. Extremely violent.
Yeah, to compare it, if you're looking for an anime to compare it to, just so you can decide if you want, there is a Kill La Kill. It's almost the same type of animation style as Kill La Kill. So that's kind of what you're looking at. And really the vibe of it is like Kill La Kill, but if they went all the way and showed nudity. Like Kill La Kill teased with fan service. This goes all the way.
Go ahead, bro. You're perfect. Like it's violent, it's sexy, it's violent and sexy. It shows the demonic side of humans and also just the demonic side of demons. This is like Constantine amped up, rated XXX. You know what I'm saying? You have these demons.
Indeed.
These it follows along this character who in essence is possessed by a demon, but he still retains control of his demonic powers. And in essence, he's going around just hunting demons, but he finds out that there's other beings that are like him. And the person who is almost like his right-hand man is guiding him along, but he has his own political agenda.
And Derek, may I interject
of course,
for a second?
Get in there.
Everyone knows that this podcast, while we talk about things that kids would love to watch, it's mainly for the adults. But if there are any kids out there, But if there's any kids out there that do listen to us, we've never called you out before. We've never given a shout out to you kids. We don't endorse children listening to our podcast. But if you are listening to this and you like to sneak and watch, this is the sneak and watch anime of the season.
This is just the first episode, that club scene. The club scene was, you got a healthy dose. Like, I was watching it, and what's crazy, like, the first 12 minutes, it's a fairly normal anime, and then life happens. Like, Priscilla, like, kind of came across the second half of the first episode while I was watching it, and she's like, what in the hell are you watching? I'm like, I swear the first 12 minutes wasn't all booties, bubbles, and butts, and spits, and violence.
Bro, I had to explain to
I'm like,
wife, when
she's like, is this what you watching? Is this what you watch when I'm not around? I'm like, conspiracy.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
But what if? It's a
I have a conspiracy theory, and along those same lines, and I love that Derreck really brought this out. My conspiracy theory is that some young kid who's listening to this podcast, who should not be, because this is for mature audiences only, right here at the Playway Podcast, we only look for the most wholesome ways to speak with children, which is not through our podcast, which does all kinds of cussing and fussing. But if you are, for that person who is listening that we don't endorse, I predict one of those people will discover their manhood by watching this anime.
That's right.
Somebody's gonna watch this anime and discover what women are all about.
If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. Like this, yes. If I had came across this,
I remember I was 14. I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about this anime.
Shout out to my brother's kids.
Went on.
Shout out to my brother's kids.
The first time I ever.
Elliot, don't go watch Devil. Hiawatha, and then you just like this is not your Pokemon. This is not your Pokemon anime. This is not your Naruto anime.
Not at all.
This is.
Dude, they even go tentacle style in a couple. I'm like, why is this on Netflix? I was like,
I kind of looked at myself, like in the loading screens, and I saw my reflection in the TV. I was a little ashamed of myself.
like back from the dead.
Yes,
exactly.
Shout out to Texas.
Yes.
But
what up, AT?
AT, like it's entertaining. Nate is like containing his excitement because he's all about the anime world and everything like this. But Nate, I will say this is a raw dog anime. This is a raw dog anime.
I would look. Hey, listen, dude. Nate, it's worth the watch.
At least the first episode. There's not as much this, Nate. You don't see as much.
Just as
not
like
as much.
honestly, it's a good case study to see what Netflix is doing. It's like, oh, Netflix is going this direction. I've never seen so much nudity, animated or otherwise, on a Netflix show ever.
Yeah.
Am I lying, dude?
No.
I mean, it's crazy. Drug use.
Yes. This has it all. This has it all. This even has some rappers in there with some serious bars. Like,
bro, Cheddar Bob.
Yes,
shout out to Cheddar Bob. You getting all kinds of shout outs
The player way
on this episode.
Man.
But yeah, they got a Cheddar Bob, dude. I love it. I love that.
Dude, it's very different than your average anime. I'll say this is an anime in the sense that it's just Devilman, but outside of that, man, this is some Eon Flux type of stuff. That's what that type of rawness.
It is. To the point where it actually goes outside of the devil. It acknowledges the Devilman lore and states that like this is if Devilman was real. Like Nate, it's almost as if like if they did a Batman animation, but like they called it Man Bat, and like if Batman was like a radioactive real like Batman, and like he's not Bruce Wayne, he's this guy who is inspired by Batman and has like real bat powers and decides to go out and do it. That's what this is. It's a tribute to the original series and the original character.
Absolutely. It's worth
What's
to watch.
the original series?
Devilman,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's called Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, speaking of Nate, as he's spoken, what you been up to this week, bro?
I had a very lazy week. I watched a lot of movies actually though. I did go out and watch Jumanji, like you told.
Yes, finally, dude. Yes, that is awesome. It was a really fun movie.
I think honestly, it probably surprised everyone because even though I knew it was doing well and everybody said it was good, I still had sort of semi-low expectations.
Look, understatement. Today, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, went on IG today and thanked everybody for making Jumanji the biggest movie worldwide for the 4th weekend in a row.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And Star Wars is still in theaters.
To even put myself under the bus, y'all remember
Star Wars wasn't doing very well in China.
No, it's crazy. That's where all the toys are going to be made.
You want to throw yourself under the bus?
I am going to throw myself under the bus a little bit. It's like, I don't know if y'all remember when we discussed this on the podcast. When I brought this up, it was much to the chagrin of we were like another Jumanji, and I was like, it's doing like a video game thing, and they're kind of like avatars. I was very curious about it.
We all doubted it. We all doubted it. We all talked crap about
the cheesiness of putting Welcome to the Jungle and the soundtrack.
Yes, but
I wasn't on board, and it was one of those things. We had free movie passes. It was like, well, everybody says this is good. Let's check it out.
It reminds me of how I felt when I saw the first G.I. Joe. Like, I was like, this was much better than what I thought it was.
Okay, I'll give you
Which
that.
also had The Rock.
It's way better than the first G.I. Joe, though.
Yeah.
Well,
of course. Yeah, but like...
it kind of was. Like, when they're racing through Paris...
Oh my god! And those fucking mechs, those little bios mech suits
with Marlon,
fucking
the worst.
Rise of the Cobra, Rise of the Cobra, Rise of the Cobra.
The worst. What's crazy about that G.I. Joe is they got the Joes all wrong, but they got the Cobra team just right. That's what was weird. The Cobra team was well done.
It should have just been a Cobra movie.
Remember, everybody on the team was done really, really well. But the Joes sucked ass. It was like the cast of Dance Flick. And yes, I mean the parody version.
Dance Flick.
It was the cast of Dance Flick versus a legit comic book adaptation team. It was weird. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, I like those people on the movie, and that chick is kind of sexy looking. But everybody else on the good side, I want them to lose.
Did you catch that other Dwayne Johnson teaser during the football games yesterday with Rampage showing that flying wolf? Nothing? Hey, it's a monster movie. What's not to like? And it's got The Rock.
Oh, man.
This is exactly how he reacted when I told him about Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. I will at least throw this out there. I don't expect Rampage to be great, but it's a movie about a big-ass ape fighting a big-ass wolf, and then there's some other thing. It's Pacific Rim.
Here's where Rock is at right now. He started.
Is this going to be his Baywatch? Is this going to be his Baywatch?
He started off with a stinker, and he ended up with a thinker. So it could go either way. I mean, he can't really lose. He can make terrible. He's in this weird place where he can do he's reached Sam Jackson status. Like, he can make a terrible film and no one cares. They'll still let him be in stuff.
All right.
What I'm excited about as far as Super Bowl trailers is Death Wish, dude. I'm excited about that one.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis with the remake of
Bruce Willis finally returning to theaters after spending a little time with direct DVD.
Exactly.
Dude hasn't made a movie that came out in theaters in years, man. Death Wish looks like shit. Let's be real. Director Eli Roth.
I don't know,
fuck
dude.
yourself.
What's his name? What's his name? The dude who was originally in that movie. Charles Bronson. It's a remake of a Charles Bronson film. Charles Bronson was the man back in the day, dude. Y'all ain't got... Look.
This is a movie no one's asked for.
West Coast ain't got no love for Charles Bronson.
I'm just...
West Coast ain't got no love
I'm just looking at Bruce Willis's
I don't care
films.
about a Death Wish remake. Yeah, there's about 60 of them on Netflix that were direct to DVD.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I was like, oh my goodness. Like... I mean, last time I saw him in the theater was the last part of Split.
Die Hard 5 might be the last one that was out in fucking theaters.
That's the last time I saw him on the big screen was that uncredited role in Split. You know?
All right, so
he should be happy Split 2's coming out.
Or Glass with Glass.
That matters.
I guess he's going to be in Glass.
By the way, in case anyone cares, it just popped up on my phone 11 minutes ago. It looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin returned.
Yeah, tonight on Raw. Tonight on Raw.
And gave Vince and Shane a Stone Cold Stunner. That's crazy. And apparently,
it's like
Undertaker's
the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, they're having all the
go out and watch that.
They're having all the classics come back tonight. Everybody's coming back.
That's awesome. Dude.
Like The Rock is going to be there tonight.
Yeah.
That's what's on. That's one. Nice dodge. I see that deflection.
Escape from that. Exactly.
From that fucking excitement.
God, give this shit no jitsu.
And speaking of having a death wish,
you
Derreck
could
and I are
have
going to
picked
do
any
the one
movie
chip challenge tonight. Derreck and I are going to be doing
let's-
the one chip challenge
let's get some
tonight after
plugs.
the podcast is over with.
Oh yes, we do.
Are you excited, bro?
We do. I have it ready right here, packed in. That's all.
Indeed, a packed in dato. Anything else from the good of the order, man?
All
right.
Feed your spay and neuter your pets.
This was a good order.
Watch out for rickets.
Exactly. What I will do is I'd like to plug what we got going on. If you're wondering why Derreck and I are giving into magma shits 12 hours from now, it's because we got this thing. If you guys remember, you can kind of sense a pattern with us taking segments that people liked from the show early on. We kind of packed everything into like one Blitzcast, and we realized that we had material for other content. So what we're doing is we making these shows in other places. So like we said, the Sports Rundown is now a segment that you can get on Sunday nights. As available will be on our Instagram channel in our story section. You can go at Playerway Podcast to get that. Likewise, you haven't really heard about the Captain's Challenge too much. The Gentleman's Bet doesn't mean the Gentleman's Bet is gone. We've kind of retired the Gentleman's Bet until later. If the Super Bowl was a little bit more competitive, we would have probably gone ahead and done that for this one. There's no point in even doing it because we'd all vote for the same team. But as we get closer to the summer blockbusters and films that are worth everyone seeing, we will be getting into the Gentleman's Bet. But until then, we do have the Captain's Challenge where I and Derreck get on YouTube and eat spicy peppers. More so I than he, because I'm the guy who will eat anything.
But I do have
Derreck
an ALS challenge coming up. Because I was
he
challenged,
does have an ALS
and I have to do it.
Exactly. So you can find us, if you go to youtube.com/playerwaypodcast, you will find us there and find all kinds of content curated.
The Player Way.
Oh, fumbled again, dude.
But he recovered.
Anyway.
He recovered.
Recovered, though. So anyway, and then likewise on that, what reason I kind of delayed a little bit is I was thinking about plugging one more show, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in development. We have another show that's going to be hosted by me. It's actually a season 2 of this show. It's a show that was my original podcast. It was a video podcast called The State of Play, but I abandoned ship and brought on some family moving forward. But I haven't abandoned those guys. We are going to be doing some stuff more in a short format, 2 to 3 minutes, just a little career advice, and it's called The State of Play, so look out for that. So all kinds of content that you can get from the Play Away podcast, the Play Your Way Network, and shout out to Chris, Sean, and John on Weekly Games Chat. They are also on our YouTube, not YouTube, but on our website as well. So shout out to the whole Play Your Way Network family. Thanks for the hard work everyone is doing. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to see. And with that, I'm just going to shout out my co-captains, Derreck.
That's me, at Corrupting System on Instagram, at Corrupting the System on Twitter. Just take out the vowels, and you'll be getting. Well, what are we doing now, BK? I got songs of the day every now and then on Instagram. I got random music theory talk. I got random mindless meanderings. They are thoughts of my own, but hey, we're all corrupting the system here.
Lots of
Me too. Not hashtag me too, though. Not hashtag me too, though.
Exactly. Follow the hashtags, though. And Nate.
Make sure you mark your calendars March 2nd for Death Wish.
For the win!
Wow. He did that thing. Straight up killed me.
Boom!
All right. Well, nothing I can say about that except for no matter what path you decide to take or what actions you decide to do or follow, just make sure you're doing it
the player way.
See you next week.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you guys. An hour on the dot.
Thanks for listening to the Player Way podcast. Recorded in a single take from Los Angeles, California, Dallas, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia, by Nathan Peterson, Derreck Lewis, and BK Jackson.
And I'm Darren Marlar, the majestic voice of the Player Way podcast.
Our opening theme is titled Bound by Ricky Remedy, courtesy of Elysian Records. And our closing theme is titled Coconut King Diaries by Xander, spelled Zahnder. You can find this music by both Ricky Remedy and Xander, and many more tracks on SoundCloud. And remember, no matter what choices you make or paths you follow, just make sure you do it
the player way.